back at Heartland Point. This isn't what I was planning on shooting, but I'll explain that in a little bit. But definitely different conditions than the last time. So we got some nice waves shooting at that old abandoned lighthouse. So we even had some sun for probably the first time in 2025, like 2/3 of the way through January. So it's pretty cool, nice and windy, nice waves. Not here to shoot any of this. It's more of a scout mission for a bird, well, specifically an owl, but I'll get into that in a little bit. But there's some nice big waves over there. Gonna go look for that, and I think I got a shot here. So. Well, I've been hiking for a bit now. Hopefully I'm shielded from the wind a little bit here. But I've been looking for a snowy owl. There was one here probably about 10, 11 days ago. I wasn't expecting it to stick around. But we got a huge dump in the rain in the last little bit. And there's no snow anywhere. So a white owl in these conditions you would think would stick out. So, but no luck so far. I did see something that looked like it was a bird of prey. It was probably an osprey, and probably can't right up there. There's an osprey nest. But yeah, so we'll see if I find it on the way back. This whole video wasn't even supposed to be for this. I'm gonna try to get a duck picture, or sorry, a picture of a duck that I don't have yet. So there's a couple spots kind of along this side of the coast that you can get some good ducks that I don't have. So I thought I'd at least give it a go. But there's some really nice wave action. So I'm gonna take a few shots of those before going to the next spot. And hopefully the sun comes out. But yeah, so definitely gonna shoot that old lighthouse with some of these rollers coming in. I have my 6-stop ND filter, and I'm just trying to get a bunch of waves kind of in the frame at the same time, and then kind of blur it out a little bit. I'm about 1/3 of a second on shutter speed at 600.
You can really see the back spray in this clip as the waves crash in. 1/3 of a second would end up being too long of an exposure, blurring out way too much. I would remove the ND filter and the lack of light. I was at f6.3, and that gave me 1/8 of a second exposure, which was what was used in these images.
Beach, shooting the derelict lighthouse. I was down here a little bit, but a rogue wave came and got out just in the nick of time. But playing around with some short, longer, too long probably, shutter speeds. but I think I like the shorter ones better. It is kind of catching, or the wind's catching the top of the waves, kind of what I was trying to do in the last video a little bit. But yeah, this wasn't my intention, so I think I got some shots, but we'll probably pack up. It is starting to snow, but pack it up, and the sun's decided to hide behind a cloud. I had the sun kind of lighting up the lighthouse, and looked pretty good on the back of the camera, so we'll see when it gets on the computer. Well, I think I saw what the bird of prey that I saw earlier, more like a hawk. Of course, I was trying to stay warm and had all my gear packed up when it flew over, but it just would have been a belly shot anyway. Now that I have my camera out, freezing my hands off, haven't seen it again. So, but we're almost back to the car, and then head on to the second location, which is probably Rainbow Haven Beach, which I did a little video at on Earth Day, so I've been there before as well. But again, I'm just going looking for ducks this time. Can't go to a beach without checking out the beach. So we'll see if we can find the ducks. It'd be kind of hidden in a little pond kind of on the other side here. Nothing so far. Well, the wind has really picked up. Hopefully the audio is okay, but I finally did get a new duck. Obviously, it's not an image that I'm going to be happy with because it was really far off, and then it took off before. I don't even know the type of duck it is, but I'll fire that up when I show the picture here. But there is another one that's kind of just out here a little bit, again, way off. So I'm going to hunker down and see if it gets closer before pushing on to the next thing. I don't think I can get a different vantage. It's kind of right in the middle of the water, but I'm gonna head back to the car and warm up. There are two bald eagles that came. They weren't here very long, but it did put all the ducks in the water. They still didn't really come close to the shore. Then a bunch of Canada geese came to land it, chilling out in the middle. So nothing close to the shore, nothing to reach with my telephoto. I'll put up the images here and name them if I can identify them, and we'll push on to Saltmarsh Trail, which hopefully is a little bit more sheltered from the wind that's really picked up, and it's kind of just a little bit further down there, probably maybe 2 or 3 minute drive. So while we drive to Saltmarsh Trail, I forgot to mention that there was a dog that was running towards me in the tall grass. So I started taking some shots, and then I was talking to the owner, and turns out puppy has cancer. So she was glad I took the images, and I'll gladly share them with her, and I'll fire some of them up here. But something nice to do. Well, that was unfortunate. I was just walking past these trees, and then perched right up. Yeah, there. Perched right up there was a bald eagle. That would have been a glorious shot, because I would have been close enough. He would have filled the frame, but he didn't want to stick around for his photo to be taken. So we'll see if he just went a little bit further ahead.
This was my first time on the trail during the day. I shot this image of the northern lights over the salt marsh one night, with the tide lower than it was today though.
Well, making the way back to the car, just some generic ducks there at the end. And then there were a few of the other ducks, but again, too far out to shoot with my full frame 600 mil. So, make my way back to the car, and then I'm gonna go and hand deliver a print of my snowflake Christmas tree to a customer, and then I'm gonna go get some ingredients for my next video if the weather works out. Temperature's supposed to drop quite a bit, so it'll be a kind of a do it yourself from home type thing for winter. But yeah, so make it back to the car. I might try Sullivans Pond, which is another spot in Dartmouth, depending on the time. It's good for ducks, but this is where all the ducks are, Sullivans Pond. Although they just look like the mallards for the most part.
This duck caught my eye, mixed in with all of the mallards. Initially, I thought it was a part albino, but it was much bigger than the mallards. With some outsourced research, it was learned to be a Muscovy and Mallard hybrid. So I ended up coming away with a nice image of a new duck. Not what I was expecting though. Well, thanks for watching, and until the next video.